By the end of this video, I'm guaranteeing you two things. One is that you're going to learn something new, and two is that if you practice these strategies, you're never going to forget anything you learn again. Now stay with me as I show you 4 proven strategies on how to learn anything and never forget. Now you have to stay through the end because each one is like a chain link and they don't function in isolation. If you want to get the best out of this principle, you have to practice all of them. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit the subscription button and turn on the notification. You don't want to miss amazing insights on personal development and self-improvement from me. Now, before we continue, I would like us to debunk a popular misconception that is going to be limiting as we continue the journey. A lot of people don't realize that in the process of learning, one of the things that is a prerequisite is the activity of unlearning, because some people's limitation to knowledge is not what they need to know more, is some things they need to unknow, if I should use that English. And so we are going to unlearn something about learning that is not helpful for the learning process as we continue, which is that learning should be a strict process. That's actually not true. The truth is that learning is fun and learning should be fun. The more fun we make our learning, the easier and faster it is for us to learn. One of the things I've understood about the kindergarten class, as many of us were in, is the process at which learning was made for these kids. Now, as an adult, you could easily think that these children receive and assimilate information more because of the quantity of information or the quality of information that was given to them. But if you put that in ratio to the adult brain and the child brain, you see that that's not actually true. So it's more about the process or the structure at which the information reached them than the quantity or quality of the information. And so we need to debunk, first of all, that learning is strict. The more fun you make your learning, the more information you retain. So the next time you open a book to learn, ask yourself, am I excited to learn something new? Am I thrilled about the adventure that my imagination is going to go on? Or am I burdened with the responsibility of acquiring information so I can duplicate it to somewhere? If your answer is the latter, then I guarantee you that you are not going to see much productivity in the adventure of learning you want to embark on. Now get a note and a pen as we unveil the 4 things. Number 1 is something I call break it or space it. Now I'm not just talking about the use of mnemonics or the use of abbreviations and all, but space it in terms of the structure and the timing of learning. Now it's said that the average human capacity of the brain to assimilate information at a stretch ranges from 30 minutes to 50 minutes. So most people, what they do is that they cover time that is not proportional to assimilation. And I know most times I've actually been there. In a bid to want to discipline yourself to read, we tell ourselves we're going to read this and spend this amount of time. But if you are more intentional about productivity than actually just fulfilling a ritual, you should pay attention to these principles. So depending on your capacity, whether it's a 30 minutes interval or 50 minutes, it's advisable to take few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of break. Press your phone, go walk around, think about something, talk to someone. What happens is that when you are back, it's as if your brain is reignited. Your brain can be tricked. So it's reignited, it's as if you've received a fresh boost and then you are ready to go again. The brain is excited to begin or embark on the journey again. It's like a time graph where the timeline is below and your assimilation line is above. And so what most people do in a bit to cover time is that they read and there is a decline in assimilation, but because they are more intentional in covering time, they just keep reading, and so after having spent 2 hours of reading, what they could only assimilate was about 35%. But if you practice the space it or break it, you are going to notice that you are going to be spending time reading and then the wave keeps climbing. A little decline and it comes up, a little decline and it comes up. So the ratio at which you are studying and assimilating is directly proportional. The second strategy is what I call teach it. Any information you claim to have learned that you can't communicate is not an information you learned, right? If you are able enough to teach something you have learned, then you have learned it indeed. So set a system in your life that makes you to teach the very things you've learned, because they are retained in your brain more. Get a friend, get a neighbor, get an audience, or get yourself from a mirror or a pet. Just get something, sit something down, or sit yourself down and teach what you learned. Not just regurgitating the same thing you are saying from a book, but in a different language, in a different understanding. Are you able to communicate these very things you've learned in your understanding? And as a matter of fact, bear in mind, can I communicate this to a 5-year-old? Can I communicate this to my peer? And can I communicate this to scholars? If you can effectively do that, I guarantee you, you've covered one stage of learning something and never forgetting it. So set systems where you are able to teach the very things you've learned. The more you communicate something, the more it retains in your brain. The third strategy is to practicalize it. Learning that does not involve actions are learnings that will not last. They will actually vanish away with the space of time. So one thing you should be intentional about is practicalizing any knowledge that you acquire. You see, no matter how you read a cookbook, you cannot cook if you don't go to the kitchen and make something. No matter how you read about swimming, you can never learn how to swim until you find the water body and jump inside. Of course, get a life jacket. On the light note though, but there is an impact that practicalizing something you learn does to you. So when you learn something, go to do something. That's why it's good to have practicals. Set systems in your environment that makes you practicalize the very things that you've learned. If you've had a message from church, if you've had a teaching in the classroom, if you've had an insight from a friend, if you want to retain that knowledge, please go and practicalize it. And if you are limited in areas where the things you learn cannot be practicalized by structure or something, for example, there are schools we went to who they don't have practical settings. What they have is alternate to practical. One of the things you can help yourself to do is to jot down. Intentionally jot down. Don't mindlessly jot down just to cover notes, but intentionally jot down, right? Because why practicalizing is important is because activities done that engages our muscles, they stay longer in our brain. For some of you, you picked up a bicycle one time, you rode it one time and two times, and then it took a long while, and then many years later, you picked up the bicycle again, and all you needed to do is just take one take, two takes, and the knowledge came back. That's what practicalizing does. When you engage your muscles in activities, it stays longer in your brain. If you remember, there are things that you engaged you doing physically. You stretch the muscle doing them, and then they last longer. And so even if it's something you are reading it from a book, but if you are really desiring to learn that thing, get another book and a pen and write it down if it's something that you cannot practicalize. But they are the ones that you can practicalize. Please engage in doing them. You are learning about how to cook something. Don't just save it in your phone. Don't just read the cookbook. Go to the kitchen, break an egg, whisk an egg, and do it. When you're learning about rocks, don't just read about it. Go on the road, find a rock, pick it, hit it, throw it on the ground. It looks foolish, but I guarantee you these things last longer. There are things I learned about in secondary school. Having learned these things earlier on, I don't easily forget things I want to learn unless I don't practice these principles. So practicalize the things you've learned. That's another step to never forgetting. Now the fourth and final strategy is something I call sleep on it. Sounds crazy, right? Yes, but it will amaze you the kind of wisdom that we have in little things that we overlook. You see, sleep helps in memory consolidation. When you learn something, after learning, take time to rest and sleep. It helps you to improve retention. And so whatever you learned before you started studying, it sticks faster. Some of you may have noticed where after reading something and you mistakenly you went to bed and then you realize that the very thing that you studied, you can remember them vividly. Some of you even go to the extent of dreaming about them. That's what sleep does. It helps consolidate the information. If you practice these four strategies effectively, I guarantee you that you never, mark my words, you will never forget to learn. Number one is to break it or space it. Number two is to teach it. Number three is to practicalize it. And number four is to sleep on it. Practice these four things simultaneously in that order, and I guarantee you that you will not forget that thing. I post amazing videos like this that helps you become a better person, improve yourself, develop yourself, grow all around. So please do well to subscribe and hit the notification button, so when I make the next video, you're going to be informed. See, also, please tell me in the comment section something you learned, or something you already know you're practicing, something you know but you're not practicing, and something you just learned that's amazing. Please do well to tell me in the comment section. And then I made a video also, there are 5 things that kills productivity and creativity. You can go check it out. Please subscribe. Thank you.